Hey guys, this will be a review of Black Baroque by Schweck for the macro category of the TeamLiquid Map Contest 12. This is a finalist. And right off the gate, before I forget, this map has a very cool river jump spot, but I think that it should be more clearly outlined with a small set of doodads in order to highlight it further. Also, this small section also looks like could be a potential river jump spot. Therefore, I would recommend to add like a small doodad in here in order to make it even more visually clear that it isn't. The map itself is just like many other Schweck maps. He has been working a huge amount into creating some very contrasting color palettes that also look like very visually stunning. Albeit, just like many Schweck maps, it has its own like rough, more style of texturing and doodad usage, but that still doesn't take away for its like aesthetic value. In the same sense, I will recommend. This is probably just like so nitpicky, but I will recommend like this set of doodads. No, yeah, this set of doodads to be made like all diagonally aligned in order to fit better with the cliffing that the map has. When it comes to the layout itself, even when it is a macro map, Black Baroque only enjoys like one true third base, and that is something that was kind of contentious, as at least in my case, because generally macro maps are like prefer to have like at least alternative thirds, but this setup is still like very safe, and it will allow 100% for like more enjoyable macro games. This particular setup of the ramps around the front of the natural and the front of the third remind me very much of a map that I created years ago, Ganymede. But I think this is like a slightly better executed version of it. When it comes to details, Schweck is also known for me and for me calling him out regarding like not adding doodads in areas where he should add doodads. For example, in this small little high ground, it should be instantly recognizable that this area can't be drop on or that reapers can't jump on top of it. So pipes should be added 100% in here in order to make it even clearer, or maybe even these like handrails of sorts. A very good usage, of course, of the Protoss doodads mixed with the fans. I think they look absolutely gorgeous. In this area, I will personally recommend to swap out this tree and just use the vines, because you already have like color vines. There is no particular reason to have the tree and have like some branches in the fan itself clipping through it. When it comes to the main base, it is a very well positioned. I think it has like a big amount of space. Maybe it could be like slightly bigger if it sacrificed the cliffing line, but I think it looks like decently acceptable. One thing that I'm not sure if this is something that I or Avex did, I don't exactly remember, but every time that you guys start using like this square cliffing, you should cut out the corners with pathing paint. This is something that Meavis has been talking about for years now, and it's something that we really need to get into actually doing consistently in order to avoid Terran players from getting like SCVs stuck, which is very exasperating to them. In the natural base, there is a huge amount of space behind the mineral line, maybe a little bit too much. I don't want to go like to attack the amount of space, because nowadays we have like some serious problems with pylon positionings. But this map also had oops, I just hit the mic. This map, if I recall correctly, also had a small cannon rush spot in here. So this is something that is like problematic as well. Many other maps, a considerable amount of like maps that were submitted this time around had like this kind of setups. in certain corners or wherever. And nowadays cannon rushes are like very much in, there is a very much uptick in their usage, especially in ladder, and that is like very exasperating, especially so because of the settling of the meta game and the usage of shield batteries. So that's very much a problem, and is something that needs to be done with care. When it comes to the rest of the map, the distance between the bases obviously very much correspond to a macro map. Good usage of the rocks in here in order to block up the passage and create like the possibility of a wall off in here, allowing for a slightly easier fourth base. The center of the map is very interesting, at least from my perspective. It is a sequencer-esque slash me with the ramps everywhere kind of setup, and obviously just because I very much enjoy this kind of layouts, because they promote like engagement, highly like maneuverable engagements, and can afford to create some very cool like esports worthy engagements and full surrounds around the very center of the map. When it comes to rush distance, this map has a slightly, if I recall correctly, yeah, and slightly than average distance, but that's absolutely understandable because of the category it was itself in. It has a fair amount, maybe slightly high or overly high amount of overlord spots, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. It is slightly hard to say. Maybe they could be reduced in size, but because they are also used as a very strong aesthetic component to the map, I'm not sure if that's like even strongly, I'm not sure if it's like strongly worth it to do it. When it comes to the rest of it, obviously natural geysers when they should be man-made. So that's a small aesthetic problem. Besides that, besides the points of the cannon rush, the areas, the cliffs, there is like not much to it. It is like a very serious, like a very strong finalist for the macro category. So yeah, I think this is basically it. It is a very outline review because there is not much to pick off. I for all of the maps that I'm not sure if you guys will be seeing this map in these videos in chronological order, but this is one of the most like well-rounded maps for the macro category. Anyhow, guys, take care. This has been Black Baroque by Schweck for the TeamLiquid Map Contest 12. It is a micro category finalist. And take care and see you in the next map review.